The Mortality Mindset Podcast with Patrick Mathieu, designed to help you live a life of radical resilience at home, at work, everywhere.
Hey, welcome to the Mortality Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Mathieu, and I should also welcome you to this new location where I'm recording from. It's just outside my comfort zone. And the reason, if you're listening to this on audio, as of course you would be because it's a podcast, but if you're just listening to it on audio, you might not realize that the reason this is outside of my comfort zone is I'm also filming this. I'm going to be putting this on YouTube. This is so out of my comfort zone. I've been at this game for years. I've been working in personal development since 2003. I've started my first podcast in, was it 2004 or 2005? So the podcasting I've been doing for years. When YouTube showed up, I knew I should be doing YouTube. I told myself I should be doing YouTube. I told other people, hey, you should be doing YouTube. And I was a big champion of using video because I'm a big champion of consuming video. I love to, take in information that way. But man, this camera is a barrier for me, or it has been a barrier for me, I should say. And I'm vowing to put that behind me. I'm vowing to move forward. And why? What is it that finally, after all these years, dragging me out of that comfort zone? It's you, it's me, it's the message. It's this idea of bringing the mortality mindset to more people. I see a lot of value in that. And I just, I like to think, how different would our world be if people weren't so caught up in denying the fact that we're one day not going to be here? And, you can look at that in terms of we are not going to be here as a species or as a planet, but it also means looking at the fact that we're not going to be here as individuals. Patrick Mathieu may not be here tomorrow or the next day. This is a really timely thing because if you don't know my story, if you're finding this on YouTube for the first time, you're like, what's all this about? The 2-second version is that I was born with a really unique heart. It's just made completely wrong. And I've had cardiologists all my life tell me if we built a heart the way yours is built, it would never run. And so we don't understand why you're sitting there. And then when I turned 18, I met a cardiologist who, for whatever reason, decided to tell me when I'm going to die. And at the age of 18, he said, "We hope you live to be 30. And, I didn't know what to do with that. And it took me 6 years to figure out what to do with that. And I wrote a book about all that. And that's what I've been talking to people about since 2003 is this idea that, what happened to me is not unique because we all will come to the end of our life. And for those 6 years, I was seeing my 30th birthday as a death sentence. And I called it my expiry date. And the title of my first book is What's Your Expiry Date? Because I realized it's not really about how long you live. It's about what you're doing with it, first of all, and about how ready you are. Because you could live to be 102, but if you're not ready, you're not going to, be prepared. You're not going to have things the way you want them to be. And so I took the numerals on my 30th birthday and turned them into a barcode and tattooed them right here. And this is my expiry date. And I was seeing that as my expiry date. And now, you don't have to get your own tattoo. I can hook you up with swag that covers that for you. It's much less painful and much less permanent. But the thing is, that expiry date, as you can probably tell if you're watching this on video from the white in my beard, is past. I'm older than 30. In fact, I'm recording this right now on March the 5th. And in just a couple of weeks, on March 18th, it will be 20 years since that expiry date. I'm turning 50 on March 18. And so That's really re-energizing me to get this message out there to people. And so that's why I'm doing this in video. The other reason I'm doing things in video, and it goes along with this idea of wanting to reach more people, is I'm looking for other ways to bring this message to people. So one of the things that I've started to do is online classes. And I'm starting off on Udemy, which is a great little platform to get online courses up to people, and they're reasonable and they're affordable, and there are always sales and coupons and great opportunities for you to pick up new learning. And I put my first course up at the beginning of February, and it was really a test course. And I put it up there. It's a full blown legitimate real course, but I just wanted to see how it how the whole process worked. But I put it up there at the beginning of February, and I'm really proud to say, in the first month, it went to the not best in. It's just the problem with doing something live like this. Best rated, highest rated. It went to highest rated in its category in the first month. My very first course. So I'm really proud of that. I invite you to check it out. It's called How to Be a Better Person. Now, I know you don't need that course because you don't need to be a better person. And no, that's not what the course, it's called How to Be a Better Person, but it's not for, I'm not saying that it's only for losers, right? What it does is it uses that kind of a hook, that, how to be a better person hook, to get us thinking about, and there's a lot of exercises. It's a very interactive program. I give you things to do and I give you homework. It gets us to think about our own lives and who owns them. And are we taking, are we being accountable to ourselves? So one of the things that I talk about when I talk about the mortality mindset is I want to help people to own your life and live like it matters. And the How to Be a Better Person course is a great way to get started with that. So I'll put a link in the show notes so that you can get a discount. I've got a discount code that you can go and get that course on Udemy right now. It takes an hour. The video content is about an hour, but depending on how deep you go with the journaling and the writing that I ask you to do, it could take longer. But the idea is it's something you come back to again and again, and it's a useful, ongoing, living thing that you're going to do. So in addition to the online courses, there's some other things I want to do. I want to do, books. I want to do ebooks, audiobooks, just because that's kind of, where I started. I started in speaking in 2003. I started speaking, and then the book came out. My first book came out in 2005. I should have a copy of it here so I can show you, but I don't have it right handy. So the first book came out in 2005. And then it turned into an ebook in 2010. I think I created the ebook version of that once Kindles and iPads were popular and out there. So books, ebooks, audiobooks, that's a no-brainer. Of course, those are going to happen. But I want to go more interactive because those are just passive. I put them out there and you consume them, and I do my thing, you do your thing, and it's all sort of separated. I want to be more of a resource for you. I want to help you more. And so I'm thinking of some other ways to do it. And one of them are these videos. So, write comments, give me feedback. We can, get some dialogue going there. I'm looking at maybe doing a weekly online mastermind. So a small group of people will get together on a Zoom call or something once a week, and it'll be a guided piece where I'll give you, a topic for the week or for the month, or I'm not quite, this is all still rattling around up in my head here. But something like that's going to be hopefully a little bit more useful and a little bit more interactive, and starting to build that sense of community. Because it's great that, you and I are working on this mortality mindset piece, but what about others? Wouldn't things be better if other people thought the way we're thinking? So weekly online mastermind, online group coaching might be something else I'm looking to do. Again, depending on the demand and depending on the interest in that. And, some sort of an online community, a closed Facebook group for the mortals, or, there's a couple of different options out there. So these are all things that I'm working on. But right now I'm out of the comfort zone. I'm staring into this camera and by God, I'm doing it. So, the online courses is where I'm going to, have my focus first. And, speaking of that, I was trying to figure out, okay, so what's the best way to go with these online courses? Because I've got a bunch of ideas and a bunch of topics that I want to cover, because I've been doing workshops. I've been doing, mortality workshops for a number of years. And so I thought, okay, well, how do I take the material in those workshops? Do I just take them and turn them into, online courses and run with that? Nah, this is an opportunity to reflect and think and fine tune things a little bit more. So I've been looking and I've actually put together a curriculum that I'm going to take people through. So I have courses on time management. I have courses on fear. I have a course on, a bunch of different topics like that. But then the big one, the big sort of cornerstone of the mortality mindset is a course called What Matters Most. And I've done this one a bunch of times as a 3-hour workshop, and I love it. And people have told me that they love it because it really wants to, the goal with this is to boil things down so that we're super clear about what matters most to us. Not what matters most in the world, because that's out there. What matters most to you, and what matters most to me. And when we can get super clear on that, everything starts to change. That's where we can get that radical resilience that I talk about. It's really hard to have that radical resilience if you're conflicted or confused or uncertain about what really matters. And not just what really matters, but what matters most. So the What Matters Most online course is going to be a big one. And I've got it probably 80% done. And I was going to push that out first, or, following the How to Be a Better Person course. I was going to push that one out first. But honestly, in the last, 2 weeks or so, I think I'm going to move the fear course to the top of the list. I'm not trying to be opportunistic here and jump on the fear bandwagon. I'm going the other way and trying to help give people something to address their fears and to put them into perspective and to help them, just take a breath and get a little more clear about things. Because, we've got coronavirus, we've got climate change, we've got fires in Australia, we've got politics all over the world in various different places. It's just the stock market's doing crazy things. Oil production is being there's just so many reasons that we could easily go into a complete fear state. And I have something that can help you with that. And guess what? It has to do with your mortality. So I'm going to be putting the fear course together fairly quickly. It'll probably be out by the end of March. And I'll let you know. I'll jump on the podcast and let you know about that. Best way to stay on top of all this stuff, sign up for the newsletter. If you're not already on my newsletter, go to moralitymindset.com. Scroll to the bottom, you'll see a sign up link. Sign up there. You'll hear all about these things first. And I give discount codes and I give advanced notice to these things there. I'm trying to decide. So please, if you watch this on YouTube or if you just listen to it as a regular podcast, and then maybe you went to watch it on YouTube, let me know what you think. Should I keep doing this? And one of the things that I'm thinking, because if you've been listening to the podcast, I tend to try to keep them structured or, on a theme, like shows, like a professional TV program or something like that. I'm certainly not saying that they are professional TV program quality, but what I'm saying is, in my head, that's what I'm aiming for. And I also know that that's been a problem for me, because putting those constraints around the ideas that I have and how I'm bringing them to you has me sometimes not putting something out because, oh, geez, I don't know if I can make this as beautiful and polished as I'd like it to be. And that's doing you guys a disservice, because maybe you don't need beautiful and polished. You need that one idea that I'm going to throw out here in the middle of a bunch of other stuff that's going to hit you right where you need it. And you'd be like, oh my God, yes, that's something I can work with. And that's going to turn your day around. And that's what I want, right? I'm not looking for any kind of Academy Awards. I'm not looking for any kind of, accolades or anything like that. I'm looking to make a difference in your life. And, if doing more video is going to help reach more people, I'm going to do that. So one of the things I'm thinking is I might continue to do the more, packaged podcast episodes. And then every so often I might do more of these sort of, free for all, turn on the camera and just have a chat with you kind of episodes. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think, no, you know what, Patrick, I really like it when you just stick to the, hi, I'm Patrick and here's my message for today. And I'm going to give you something to think about and blah, blah, blah. And think about this. Okay, thanks. Bye. If that's what you wanted more of, let me know. If you like this approach, if you like the idea of me just sort of riffing on things and talking about things with you and, dropping the occasional F-bomb if it needs to come up, then let me know about that too. So, you know what? I'm going to leave it at that and have a listen to some of the other stuff. If you're seeing this on YouTube, go and listen to some of the other podcasts and see what you think the difference and see which one you prefer. Does it help to have the video? Does it not? Does it matter one way or the other? What do you think about these other ideas in terms of the books, ebooks, audiobooks, weekly mastermind, ongoing coaching, those sorts of things? How can I best be of service to you? I have I mentioned the weekly newsletter. The newsletter that I sent out this week, I sort of asked some of those questions and I put in a little GIF of Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire with the help me to help you. And so that's what I'm asking you to do now. Help me help you. Help me figure out how the mortality mindset can best reach you and tons more people. Because I think the more we get this, the more we understand that we don't get to live forever and nobody is guaranteed tomorrow, the more we can live like it matters. And that, at the end of the day, is what I'm trying to help you to do. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you later.